Continue our coverage 1 year later. A look at the progress made after the devastating floods that hit Siouxland 1 year ago. Floodwaters from the Rock River inundated homes and businesses in Rock Valley, Iowa 1 year ago, and in many ways the town continues to recover today. The Rock River crested at nearly 28 feet on June 22, 2024. Floodwaters damaged around 500 homes in Rock Valley, displacing 1,500 people. Floodwaters inundated businesses as well. Damage soared into the millions of dollars. 52-year-old Rock Valley resident Kyle Krakis also died in the flood. Before the river rose, though, city officials evacuated parts of the town and put together a major sandbagging operation to build up the berm on the Rock River. The berm, however, wasn't able to withstand the nearly 28 feet of water coming from the Rock River.
The river rose to historic levels that we've never seen here before, and it's hard to deal with that much water. It's a monumental undertaking.
The rescue and rebuilding efforts began as soon as the floodwaters receded. Now, 1 year later, while the scars remain, the town continues to move forward with new developments. Here's KTIV's Connor Trett.
1 year later, we stand where floodwaters threatened this community, and I'm proud to say that Rock Valley is stronger than ever.
Days after the flooding in June 2024, Rock Valley's Mayor Kevin Van Otterloo emphasized that one of his top priorities was making sure that residents could stay in the community and have a place to call home. And new developments like the one that you see behind me are working to do just that.
Before June 2024, a new workforce housing project was already in the works in Rock Valley. Following the flooding, the city's economic development team approached developers and agreed to add more projects to bring in more housing as quickly as possible.
City powers to be reached out and said, hey, we have a huge need for housing, for residential homes, and then also for another phase of apartments. And so then at that point, we were also approved through workforce housing with the state to do an additional phase 2 for another 36 units.
On top of a second 36-unit apartment complex, developers in the city agreed to 25 single-family homes to be built in 2 phases, and 12 more lots are prepared for development following the completion of those 25 homes. That opens the door for hundreds of people to call Rock Valley home.
You know, we're doing our, small little part, Lloyd Companies, Schaefersman Development, and putting up these houses, but it's really kind of the least that we can do to support a community in need.
It's going to help for the people that have been displaced already. That's going to be the start, and it's also going to be to bring more people into town. We have a lot of people that drive into town to work in our manufacturing and stuff, and we're hoping to give them a place to call Rock Valley home. So we're hoping to make Rock Valley grow even more than it has been.
2 of the 10 houses built in the first phase are already sold or under contract, and there's high interest in the remaining homes even before they're done.
The interest has been pretty steady. We think with the roads coming in and the weather warming up, we will see some more influx.
Rebuilding homes one day at a time. In Rock Valley, Iowa, Connor Trett, KTIV News 4.
Crop said if the first apartment complex is leased at the expected rate, the decision to build that second complex could be made as early as this summer. And it's not just homes that are being rebuilt in Rock Valley. Many local business owners are working hard to bounce back from the flooding. Farmers Lumber Company is one of those businesses. The company's building had knee-high water throughout. That water level is now commemorated inside the store with a water line on one of the beams. Community members and employees began cleanup efforts right after the floodwaters receded last June. Just a week after the flood, Farmers Lumber Company was back in business with employees working off of card tables. The business was fully operational 3 months later.
I think it was encouraging to see businesses and community members kind of come together and put the pieces back together. And I think that kind of translated to everyone kind of that mentality of, hey, we're going to push through and we're going to all support each other and we're going to make it through this and we're going to be better as a result. So.
While Farmers Lumber Company and several other businesses have reopened, Others continue to rebuild. Something Special, located on Main Street, is operating out of a smaller shop while the main building is rebuilt. The original building had to be torn down because of the flood damage, and a new one was built in its place. While it's been a long process for the shop's owner, Jody Anderson, she says there are some positives when you rebuild your shop from the ground up. She says she's now able to put the shop back together with things that she dreamed of having.
I have a garage in the back of the store here for our delivery van. We no longer have to go outside and get all the snow off or start it so it's not freezing. Our flower cooler is larger and a little more efficient. Our work area, having an older building, we had to just kind of make it work, but now we could kind of build it to this is what would really work best for us.
Anderson says she hopes to have her shop fully reopened soon. In the meantime, she's operating her shop just a couple blocks away.